So here we go. It's Forest next game after the game we will not talk about. Forest versus Brighton. Welcome to the team preview and my predictions. Good morning, good evening, or good night. Hope you guys are doing well. And welcome to the match preview for Forest versus Brighton. You know the drill by now. Please make sure you've hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe to FFTV if you are new. And check out this crazy prize from Football Prizes, where you can win this signed framed Matt Sells shirt as the main prize. But they've just gone crazy and given like insta wins for pretty much the whole first team. You can win Milenkovic's top, Murillo's top, Einar's top, Yates, MGW, Wood, all of them instantly for 99p. So scan this QR code, click on the link that's pinned in the comments, get your tickets, and if you get the Einar shirt, I can cut you a deal. All right, let's get into this. We got a lot to talk about because there's injury updates, there's players coming back and everything else. And don't forget, no watch along tomorrow because yes, I am deserting you guys. I can't resist anymore. I've got to go to the beloved City Ground. So if you go into the game tomorrow, we'll be at the fan zone from like 11:45, just outside the fan zone, should I say. Come say hi, we'll have a chat, we'll catch up. You can tell me how annoying I am. All right. Let's start with the team news. So we know Nuno has said that Danilo and Sangare, he didn't say they're back, he said they're ready. And I think that wording is very key. At least I hope it is. You guys know where I'm going with this. Callum Hudson-Odoi is definitely out. Outside of that, Nuno's got the usual squad that he can pick from. And the real big question in my mind about this game is, what is Nuno's approach? After the game we shall not talk about, I don't even know why, subconsciously, look at that, I had 5 fingers up. I hate them. Anyway, after that game, is Nuno's approach going to be, we have to now get a result to shut up this mainstream media that are like, I told you so, here we go, here comes the Forest collapse? Is he going to go a bit guns blazing in this game? Or is he going to go the polar opposite and say, like he said after the interview, we're 7-0 down on aggregate right now in terms of the last game and a half. We need to shut up shop. Guys, let me know in the comments which way you think Nuno's going to go with this one. Now, personally, from my perspective, if I was Nuno right now, you want a clean sheet. That's my feeling. That's his narrative as a coach. Anyway, he always talks about being compact, making sure everything's tight at the back. I think he's going to drill into the players. Thou shall not concede. You concede, you go out of one of the side exits in the City Ground because you're not coming back down the tunnel. And I think that's going to be the approach. But my worry is, does it go too far that way? Could one of my stupid 0-0 predictions actually be true? Because if he goes too far the other way, are we then not going to see enough attacking play or counter-attacking play from Forest? So this is going to be a very interesting match. I also think, and yes, Ant, I am going to say it, this is a must-win match for Forest. Look at our fixtures coming up. Fulham away. Apart from when Zink scored that beautiful goal assisted from Cooper, really in recent years, we have struggled against Fulham. That result from last week, we've had it at Craven Cottage last year. We don't want a repeat of that. Then we got Newcastle. Then we've got Arsenal and then Man City. Big games coming up. This next month is going to seriously define Forest season, because after that, it does ease up. And I think our run-in is quite nice because a lot of the teams we'll be facing will be on the beach. I think Chelsea final day of the season could be a top 4 decider, a title decider. Who knows? Okay, you get me, right? So those are the kind of predetermination things that we need to talk about before the match. Get your thoughts in on all of that. How many points do you see from our next 5? That's my next question to you guys. We've got obviously Brighton, Fulham, what did I say? Newcastle, Arsenal, Man City. How many points out of those 5 do you guys think? Let me know in the comments down below, and let's jump into the team sheet. All right, so this is the team, as far as I remember, that started against that team last week. And there needs to be changes. Now, I'm not sitting here demanding wholesale changes as such. You don't need to scrap all 11, sell them all, as I probably said once or twice during that watch along. Angry, of course. But there definitely needs to be tweaks. There's some certain players we have to talk about. Jota, I'm just not convinced on him. I want to be wrong on him. I was excited by his, his hair and stuff. But in terms of his football, honestly, man, he's a dog chasing shit in a park sometimes. It just, whatever the saying, flies around shit. Well, okay, I'm going to stop swearing. Anyway, you get what I'm saying? That's what he feels like to me on the pitch. Yes, he shows a lot of hustle and bustle, but I just think he's not it. I hope I'm wrong. I don't start him in this match. What I'll do, I'll show you the team I go with, and then I'll show you what I think Nuno will do. In terms of Yates and Dominguez, I want to talk about them collectively. I'm getting less and less convinced about both players. Like, I've always said Yates is an impact sub. For me, I think he's had a good season, but I don't like what he did on the first goal, and I do not forgive Dominguez for that lazy pass for the third or fourth goal, whatever it was last week. Neither of them should start, just for those reasons alone, in my opinion. In terms of Anderson, he's fine. The back four, I'm not going to change it, but my God, do they need to buck up their ideas. Look, that defeat against Bournemouth for me was not because of the defense, it was because of the midfield. So if I'm making wholesale changes, I'm making them in the midfield. Now, you guys are probably not going to like what I'm going to do here, and I think I did smile a little yesterday because I think Rob went with a team that I was like okay with, and it was the one I was going to choose. So let's go with the team I would go for. So Yates out for me, Jota out for me. We know Callum Hudson-Odoi is out, so that's a given. What I'm going to do here, I know, yeah, and you're probably going to stop watching now. I'm bringing Sangare straight in, and I'm also bringing Danilo straight in. This, whether people like it or not, is Nuno's preferred 6 and 8. Why? Because we saw this on the opening day of the season when everyone was fit. This was his number one choice. I want to see this. Sangare controlling the midfield. Now, are they match fit? Probably not, right? But remember Nuno's words. He didn't say they're back. He said they are ready, okay? Do I think he starts either of them? No. But this is what I would do, because you got to remember as well, we don't have a Premier League game until the Newcastle game because Exeter's in between there. I don't care as much about the cup, right? I think we can win that game against Exeter with a B team. So play them, and they then still have about a week and a half to 2 weeks of recovery time. Give them 60 minutes. Go strong from the start. Don't save your secret weapons till the second half to get them in. Although I understand why you can do that, because their fitness levels will probably match a player who's been on the pitch for 60 minutes so they can get into the game. I'm saying screw it. I'm hearing good things about Sangare in training. He's come back as a new man, sharper, fitter, and all that. And Danilo is Danilo. Now, that's what I would do. And then in terms of Anderson, obviously I'm not dropping him. He's one of my favorite players, but I'm going to play him in the Callum Hudson-Odoi position because he can play out on the left. He did it for Newcastle. He's done it for Forest. I think he's a better 8, but this isn't square pegs in round holes. He can play out on the left, and his work rates for me are better than Callum Hudson-Odoi's, so he will protect Nico Williams and track back, and he is a skillful dribbler on the ball. I'm putting Elanga back on the right-hand side, Morgan Gibbs-White in the middle, Cristiano Woodinho up front. Honestly, this is close to one of our strongest teams. This is why we have to dismiss, for me, the 5-0 against Bournemouth. And now we're saying, right, our midfielders, cliche time here, 2 new signings, Sangare, Danilo, both back, is a huge, huge plus. You'll probably see that give a bit of a lift and a boost to the rest of the team. We know Danilo is very, very popular, and Sangare is settling in as well. This is why I would go with this team. Is Nuno going to go with it? Hell no. I think what we'll see tomorrow is neither of them starting. Maybe Sangare. I don't think Danilo will start. I think he'll put Anderson in there. And then I think what he will do is bring Sosa into the team and put him on the left-hand side. Hopefully Nuno's been reading my complaint messages about how poor Jota Silva has been. I don't know if he would risk Sangare to start with, which probably means he puts in a Dominguez because he rotates those two. Last week he started with Yates. This week he'll probably start with Dominguez. I don't know if any of you have noticed that pattern, or maybe I'm just making that pattern up. I think this is the team he goes for. I don't think it's as strong. I think the midfield is still weak. It needs a Sangare in there with he's an actual 6. It needs a Danilo. It depends on his fitness. I would take the risk. Now, there is another argument for a back 3. You could go Milenkovic, Murillo and Morato, push the 2 fullbacks up to wing backs, and then you could go with Morgan Gibbs-White and Anderson in the middle, and then have the front 3 as it is. So that's another option. I don't think he'll do that at home. But maybe if he is being ultra cautious and wants to protect that goal line and keep that clean sheet, he starts with that back 3. I'm not saying it's defensive. I don't think the way he plays the back 3 is defensive. But I think it's probably crossed his mind. But I think this is the team he goes with. Nuno, pick my team. What do you guys think? What would you do? Alrighty, so how do I see this game playing out? Obviously, Brighton are up and down in terms of their form, losing at home to Everton. I don't know how much you can look into that because Everton have obviously got the new manager Bounds, Moyes, the return of the saviour and all that. So that could have played a part in it. But Brighton at Forest, we've done okay. Even though in my mind, I think back we beat them 3-1 in our first season. Last season we took the lead and then there was the whole sending off. It was still under Cooper's reign, if I remember rightly. I still feel at home we do okay against Brighton. This is going to be a tough match. Brighton are not confident. So I'm not saying they're not informed, but I don't feel they're oozing confidence in terms of the style that they're currently playing. So I really do expect Forest to win this. Could this be a draw? Yes, if it's going to be a draw, it will actually be 0-0. There you go, there's the 0-0. But I'm not predicting that anymore, thanks to that last game. I think Forest have to say to the Premier League, we are here to stay. We are Cartel 6. Stop trying to ignore us. Make your peace with the likes of us, Newcastle and Villa, disrupting this so-called system. Forest have to win this match, in my opinion, with the games we got coming up, and I'm backing Nuno to do it. I'm going Forest 2. I'm going Brighton 0. Nuno gets the 3 points and the clean sheet he so desperately wants as well. Forest go back on track. Forest close the gap maybe to Arsenal, depending on what they do. And Forest are playing first. We can lay the gauntlet out to the teams around us. A lot of teams are playing each other. This is a huge weekend in terms of where Forest could potentially end up. We must win. 2-0 to the Forest. What do you guys think? Get your predictions in the comments. If you've enjoyed the video and haven't already, make sure you've hit that like button. Make sure you're subscribed if you are new. Looking forward to seeing loads of you tomorrow down at the world famous. And until then, come on you Reds.